Themba Gorimbo is a Zimbabwean mixed martial artist who currently competes in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He currently holds a 6-0 professional record and is the most recent addition to the UFC roster. Gorimbo is a decorated striker who trains predominantly out of London shoot fighters alongside UFC stars like Michael the Count Bisping. He has been able to finish 3 of his 6 fights in dominant fashion. Gorimbo is well known for his elite kickboxing skills, having won multiple African titles early in his martial arts career. His stand-up game has been a major factor in all of his wins. Since competing in the UFC, Themba has adapted his striking style to better suit the rules of the promotion. His use of leg kicks and long-range boxing has been given much praise by many long-time observers of the sport. On the ground, Gorimbo is an aggressive grappler who has a knack for quickly getting the fight to the mat so that he can dominate the action from top position. He has secured 2 submissions so far in his UFC career. Gorimbo is known as one of the most determined and passionate fighters to ever join the UFC. He is always seeking to find ways to improve his already impressive skill set. Themba has a large, dedicated fan base who follow the rise of the Zimbabwean fighter from back when he was competing in Africa, through to his impressive debut in the octagon. Despite his short time in the promotion, Gorimbo has quickly built a following in the UFC, and his next fight is one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year. Themba is a very approachable fighter who loves to connect with fans of the sport and encourages others to pursue their dreams in martial arts. Gorimbo has an ambitious career outlook and is always setting lofty goals for himself. He is determined to become a world champion in the UFC, and he is currently making excellent progress towards this objective. Themba is considered one of the rising stars in the promotion and is a true pioneer for African MMA. He expresses gratitude for the opportunities that have been presented to him and works hard to make sure he maximizes each of them. Gorimbo's next fight will be one to watch as he looks to continue his dominance in the UFC with yet another win. Win or lose, Themba will always remain dedicated to his craft and pursuing his dream of becoming a UFC champion. Themba has brought an immense amount of enthusiasm and energy to the UFC since joining the organization in 2020, and he is one of the most entertaining fighters to watch both inside and outside the octagon. Due to his high-energy fight style and enthusiasm, Gorimbo is quickly becoming a fan favorite in the UFC, and his popularity will only continue to grow as he puts on more exciting fights. When not training for fights, Themba spends most of his free time with his family and friends. He cherishes the close relationships he is able to cultivate with them and speaks fondly of them in interviews. Themba is an excellent role model for young fighters and fans alike. He shows a level of respect in his fights that is unparalleled in the UFC and sets a good example for others to follow. Gorimbo also loves to give back and is often seen participating in various charity events and volunteering his time in his local community. As he continues on his path towards becoming a world champion, Themba Gorimbo remains determined and focused on achieving his goals. His drive and passion for the sport is inspiring, and he serves as a beacon of hope for African MMA. In whatever capacity, Themba has been able to make a positive impact on the sport of MMA and help elevate it to bigger heights. His unwavering commitment to competing at the highest level has made him a fan favorite and will continue to do so. Gorimbo shows no signs of slowing down and is using each fight to hone his skills and further his career in the UFC. His dedication to his craft, excellent fight IQ, and dominant performances have made him one of the most exciting fighters in the promotion. We recently spoke to Themba about his journey in the UFC and his plans for the future. He is determined to work hard and keep improving so that he can make the most out of his time in the UFC and maybe even one day become a champion.